Understand the 80-20 Pareto distribution might just be the game changer you need. In this video, I'll explain 80-20 and how it leverages in all areas of your life. The 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto Principle or the law of the divided few, is a principle that states that roughly 80% of your results are generated from 20% of your efforts, right? It's a distribution that was uncovered by an Italian economist with a pretty cool name called Vilfredo Pareto. Pareto noticed that 80% of the land in Italy at the time was owned by 20% of the population. He also noticed that the principle worked in his own garden. 20% of the pea pods contain 80% of the peas. Now, this distribution has been proven multiple times in different contexts and in different areas in life. The ratio is not always 80-20. It can be skewed. Sometimes it goes all the way up to like 99-1 or even bigger ratios. The main idea is that small numbers are often critical and tend to produce the biggest effects amongst all areas in life. Now, I could just read some stats that prove 80-20 like most YouTube channels. However, I think this will be more valuable for you if I actually show you some worked examples. Let's do some quick math. Let's start with the GDP wealth distribution of the world, right? So I did a quick Google search to find out how many countries there are in the world. It turns out there's 195. Now, if you're good at math, you would know that 20% of 195 is 39. Next up, I went on the World Bank website to get the predicted GDP rating of the top 39 countries in the world. I chucked those numbers into a spreadsheet and did some quick math and found out that the top 20% of the world contains 90% of the world's GDP. Now, how's that for inequality? Now, I live in Australia, so I figured I would check the population distribution in the cities just for kicks. Yes, we do have cities. It's not just kangaroos and knives. Stop being ignorant. Although I did see a kangaroo down my street the other day. Okay, that's probably not the best thing to show to get rid of that stereotype. Okay, moving forward. Now, Australia has well over 400 cities and towns with a population of approximately 25 million people in the whole country as of 2018. If we just look at a fraction, let's say the top 20 cities in Australia, we can see that they account for a hefty 78% of the population. That's pretty crazy, huh? A similar pattern can be seen in all cities or most cities around the world. How about an example a little closer to home? I finessed my YouTube analytics and a little interesting thing happened. I looked at my most viewed videos and the same thing happened. My top 10 videos account for 73% of my views. Pretty much half my channel's views come from one video. Keep in mind, I have around 300 videos uploaded as of today. This means 290 of my videos account for 27% of my views. What a time to be alive. But I ain't mad though. That's 80-20, baby, and it's everywhere. So an important question to ask is, why does 80-20 happen? Well, I'll give you a little example or analogy that might help you understand it. The 80-20 distribution happens because of the magic of feedback loops. Many people who have had goldfish can attest to the following observation. You go to the pet store, right, and you buy 3 equal-sized goldfish. A couple of months roll by, and the 3 goldfish are drastically different size. Or what's the cause? Is it genetics? Or what's going on? Are you feeding one more than another? No. Why is that? Well, naturally, when you first feed your goldfish, one might have been lucky enough to get more food than the others, giving it a slight advantage, right? So that goldfish grows slightly larger than the other goldfish, and next time it's able to get a bit more food. Over time, this advantage in size and ability to acquire food gets larger and more obvious until the other goldfish can barely compete. You are now left with one big goldfish that eats all the food, in the same way that your cousin David does at every family gathering. How to leverage 80-20. Now that you know about the magic of 80-20, let's go over ways that you can optimize your life using the simple principle. We'll go over examples in fitness, work, relationships, and of course, education. Let's get into it. Relationships. You are divorced from your wife and can only spend one day of the week with your son. What do? Is it better to watch TV with him for a couple of hours, or is it better to go outside and do something? Okay, think about this. We forget about 99% of our lives. The day-to-day shenanigans quickly disappear into the ether. Don't believe me? Can you remember what you did throughout one whole day about a month ago? No, we only remember things of significance, such as going away on trips or your sister's wedding. Now, back to your son. If your goal is to optimize your relationship with him, you're probably better off going fishing with him or shooting a few hoops in the park These things are going to be the 20% that equal 80% of the memories that he remembers of you. Education. I remember having a project management class for my engineering degree. Our assignment was to do a presentation in front of the whole class. A couple of my friends spent weeks and hours researching for the assignment. Come due day, all they presented was a dense and boring death by power slide. I was to present a week after. I decided to take a different approach. I looked at the assignment's criteria. I noticed that presentation skills such as eye contact and vocal tonality scored high. I also remember the professor telling us that our slides should be simple and not so dense. So my team and I decided to focus on a simple and yet entertaining presentation that got to the point quickly and gave a lot of value. We also didn't use palm cards and remembered our speeches, making them far more engaging. We spent a total of 8 hours practicing and doing our presentation, and we got the highest mark in the class. This is all because we leveraged 80-20. We worked smarter, not harder. Work. Christian and Sally work at a sales department. Christian is the pencil pusher. He does all the work that's been delegated to him by his boss. When colleagues ask for help, he's quick to help them. All this running around doesn't leave much time for Christian to do his cold calls. So he hasn't been able to get the promotion that he's desperately wanted for the past 5 years because he hasn't been able to achieve the sales quota. Now Sally, she barely responds to her emails unless they're critical emails. She doesn't have time to chit-chat with her colleagues. She spends all her time chasing down clients, cold calling. Sally has been able to procure a 6-figure client for her boss, making the boss very happy. The boss looks past all the tasks that she didn't complete and is very happy about the 6-figure client and gives her a promotion. Christian sits in the corner looking like Smeagol green with envy. His problem was that he thought all tasks were of equal weighting. He did not focus on the 20% that produced 80% of the results like Sally did. Fitness. Two best friends decide to join the gym and build some juicy muscles and make the King of Iron Arnold proud. One of the boys trains 6 times a week and focuses on isolating each muscle with specialized movements. He does an hour of cardio after every workout and hopes of getting ripped. He works out for an average of 12 hours per week. The second boy takes a more minimalistic approach. He does full body workouts, trains 3 times a week focusing on heavy compound exercises that stimulate his whole body. He does cardio only 2 times a week and prefers to do high intensity interval training such as hill sprints. He works out for an average of 4 hours per week. So the question is, who will achieve their goals faster? Well, the second boy will. He will make more gains because he puts in all his effort into the 20% of things that will result in 80% of the results. Instead of spending 12 hours in the gym like his friend, he stimulates his body effectively and efficiently and gives it plenty of time to rest and hence grows quicker. To maximize your efficiency in life, you must always be looking for the 20% that will give you the 80% of your result. When you find these things, double down on them. Make them your primary focus. As Tim Ferriss suggests, always ask yourself, what is the one thing that I can do today that will make everything else irrelevant? It might be cold calling a new customer. It might be eliminating soda drinks from your diet. You have to find your way, and the best way to do this is to eliminate different things and see the results. Eliminate different variables in your life and see what happens. When there's one thing that you eliminate and your results suffer dramatically, you know that's your 20%. Now, your immediate 20% right now is to subscribe to this channel, and I'll give you 80% of your results. So, this is the end of the video. You must have really liked it if you got this far. Yeah, am I right? Yeah, am I right? Okay. If you liked it, please click subscribe and hit the post notifications because YouTube is doing this weird thing right now where if you subscribe, it doesn't even show you my videos. Very strange stuff. But yeah, click those post notifications. We're all good. Till next time.